Well, it does seem that today's show is going to be pretty much, for the rest of it, about one topic. And that makes sense. It's an important one. All anyone's talking about is what we've been going through in today's show, which is these Epstein emails talking about Trump. Quotes like, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim redacted, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned by the police chief, etc. I'm 75% there." Talking about knowing how dirty Trump is and all these other things we detailed before. That sent the White House into total chaos. And what's the next big actual action that could be taken with this? It's the discharge petition. Mike Johnson, for some reason, I don't think he gets enough heat for this, honestly. But he should be asked this every 2 seconds, all the time, anytime a reporter's around him. He's not bringing up a bill to the floor to force the release of the files. He's the one blocking that being brought to the floor because Trump wants him to. So what they're having to do is pass something different, vote on something different that would force a floor vote on the bill to release. And they had 217, they need 218. Adelaide Grijalva could be the 218th. She just got sworn, and I'll show you that in a second. But Trump knows he's not going to sway a Democrat. So now they have the votes because of 4 Republicans. But it hasn't happened yet. So in between now and when it could happen, and I don't know when it could happen, hopefully very soon, Trump's putting pressure on some of the Republicans. Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace. Some of this is redundant for the full show viewers, but just to fill everyone in, our video YouTube viewers. And Boebert, I never thought I'd say it, but Boebert, I think, is standing her ground here for what's right. Could it be? Manu Rogers said, "I asked Representative Lauren Boebert on September 16th if there was any way she would take her name off of the Jeffrey Epstein discharge petition. No, she told me." Then a reporter, New York Times reporter, says, "My understanding is that the relentless pressure campaign that has included carrot, stick, good cop, bad cop has made her even more dug in, suspicious, and convinced there's a conspiracy at play." So I thought in the last segment, and then we took a break for our full show viewers, and that's where we're here now. And I found out it wasn't a joke about the Situation Room. Apparently, we're actually talking about a Situation Room meeting that, from the wording here from Caitlin Collins, involved Lauren Boebert to pressure her out of voting to force a vote on the bill. Caitlin Collins reports, meaning that a pretty remarkable pressure campaign, including phone call from the president and a personal meeting in the Situation Room with an AG, deputy AG, and FBI director, could not sway a Republican House member. Guys, I know we've been talking about this story for months now, but this is chilling. I'm actually disturbed right now. This is out of, in a twisted way, a movie. Is she saying they brought a Republican House member, I guess Boebert, into the Situation Room where the military things happen, and they had Todd Blanche, Pam Bondi, and Kash Patel all sit there and go, "Listen, we know best. We understand that the implications for we can't actually." And to her credit, so far, if this changes, I'll tell you, she's standing her ground. But that's the level of pressure Trump himself is putting on Boebert. He's also put pressure on Mace, and I think it might be working a little better with her. If that happens, now we're back to 217, if Mace flips. And before I show you Adelaide Grijalva, just to show you what, I guess I don't have the post, but I showed you in the other seconds, Mace was kind of like, "I'm tired of people saying mean things about Trump, and he's actually not doing anything wrong." So maybe she's flipping, but Boebert might be committing correctly one of the presidency defining attacks on Trump, exposing him in a way here by not bending the knee that will go down in the history books. Yeah, so Mace is posting stuff like, I'm so sick of the fake news focusing on Trump and not Epstein victims, which doesn't make any sense. This is about Epstein victims. He's the one blocking it. Now, I'll show you Adelita Grijalva. I don't want to have you lose hope, but Mace could flip, and now we're back to not being able to force a vote. Why Mike Johnson feels comfortable on his conscience not bringing this up for a vote, because otherwise you don't need the discharge petition. You could just bring it up for a vote. Would it pass? Honestly, probably. So let me explain, because even I got a little bit confused about the whole process here. The reason why more Republicans aren't voting to force a vote is because they can say, oh, this is just procedural. I'm just not going to force Mike Johnson to do something. But I think it's different if they have to, then if the vote is forced, then they would actually have to put their name on, am I voting for or against an Epstein transparency bill? Am I actually on the record voting for or against it? Now, the discharge petition is kind of the same thing, but it's technically not. So I think that's why the feeling is if the discharge petition gets 218, you're going to get a bunch of Republicans that ultimately vote for the actual bill. Because otherwise, I mean, every one of their careers should be over if they don't. But then here's the scary part. Very hopeful Adelita Grijalva now is sworn in. I'll show you this. She was taking a lot of slights at Mike Johnson, as she should. But it would still have to pass the Senate, so we could have the same thing with John Thune in the Senate. Unless I'm missing something, then it would go to Trump's desk. So, But again, Trump may want to kill it by preventing it from coming up to a vote, because he understands actually vetoing it is too much to be on the record. Behind the scenes, oh, I'm sorry, gosh, looks like the House isn't passing it, is different than I vetoed having to release the Epstein file. That's a little different. So it's very important this happens, but it is like, oh, there's still a long... I haven't been telling you guys that because I wasn't even thinking about that. I just kept thinking, if this happens, it happens. And maybe there's a special procedure where the House can force transparency just by a certain oversight measure. Nope. Again, from my understanding, that's the sequence of events. So there's still a long road. And even if this happens, it'll get scheduled sometime in December, the vote in the House. But at least maybe we have the votes now, and at least Boebert is not bending the knee so far. If she does, I just want her to know I will personally dedicate myself to never letting anyone forget about it ever. That is protecting pedophiles. That's all it is. That's it. But here, finally, after weeks of Mike Johnson blocking her swearing in, here's Adelita Grijalva being sworn in.
And that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God.
I do.
Congratulations, you're now a member of the 119th Congress.
As we continue through this, please do, if you appreciate the show, click the subscribe button. Makes a big difference. It's very easy, it's free, but it boosts the show and gets thus more of our message out. Then we move to, after standing here with Mike Johnson, she gets asked the question, why did it take so long for you to be sworn in? And she goes, ask this guy.
Handshake.
Yeah.
We'll leave the camera to it.
That's a big one.
Why did it take so long to get sworn in?
Thank you guys. That would be that would not be my question.
Look, I really like this lady. She's going to be an excellent member of Congress. She's a great person.
I really like this lady. Watch, this is professional face sliding, right? Watch, this is pro. Watch the look on her face. She's telling you a whole story while he's talking.
I just told her on the way in that she fills her father's shoes, or she's going to try. No one can.
No one can.
He was a giant around here, served a long time, served his state very well. I served under him in the Natural Resources Committee for a while and admired the way he did the work. He was tenacious. So she has a proud family legacy, and we're delighted to have her here. She may not agree with me, but we follow the custom of the House on the timetable, and we've had a little, as we say in the Deep South, some intense fellowship about that.
Yes.
Okay, but she's here now, and I promise that
she's not having it. And to her credit, she's not having it with him. We're following the no, you're not. You could have done it. You did it with Republicans, pro forma Sessions. You could have done it. You didn't. And I guess it's kind of, you know what we referenced earlier? Maybe it's not that they think they could delay the swearing in forever for the Epstein files to never release. It's not that. But that they could delay it long enough for Trump to pressure one of the Republicans into flipping, and then we're back to 217. And it looks like that might have worked with Mace. I don't know how Mace, who tries to coin herself a big defender of victims, could possibly ever be on the record voting against this, but maybe. Here was the speech after Grijalva was sworn in.
Our democracy only works when everyone has a voice. This includes the millions of people across the country who have experienced violence and exploitation, including Liz Stein and Jessica Michaels, both survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. They are here in the gallery with us this evening. Thank you for being here. Just this morning, House Democrats released more emails showing that Trump knew more about Epstein's abuses than he previously acknowledged. It's past time for Congress to restore its role as a check and balance on this administration and fight for we, the American people. We need to fight for our immigrant communities and veterans. We need to stand up for our public schools, children, and educators. We need to respect tribal sovereignty in our environment. We need to stand up for LGBTQ plus rights, because that's what the American people expect us to do.
So a big part of her message too, which is correct, we talked about before, is Republicans do this thing where they say, you can't push back on, and just so you know, my chair is just falling apart. It's drooping so much I'm barely even sitting in a chair. I'm mostly just doing a squat, okay? So if you think I look straight, that's why. I'm squatting right now. That because Trump won, we can't vote against him. Oh, he won. Mandate. Meh. Didn't even get more than 50% of the vote, by the way. But we have to do whatever he wants because he has a mandate. And Democrats, how dare you go against that mandate by advocating for your districts? And she has emphasized, wait, the whole system of our government is that different people are elected and then can hold the other elected officials accountable. So no, we don't just bend the knee to whatever Trump wants. There should be pushback. There should be a fight. Then you have this.
What is most concerning is not what this administration has done, but what the majority in this body has failed to do. Hold Trump accountable as a co-equal branch of government that we are.
Precisely. They are Congress has been completely useless. Has seen itself as just an extension of not even extension, a little puppy dog of the executive branch, not its own branch of government. Then you have Greg Stanton coming up and speaking.
And her first act of Congress will be a powerful one. She will be the 218th and final signature on the discharge petition to force the Trump administration to release the Epstein files, delivering long overdue justice and accountability for hundreds of victims abused by rich and powerful men.
So again, am I missing something procedurally? Obviously, if you got enough votes, you could override a veto. But I don't see Republicans doing that. Very important. They charge forward anyways. Since we're coming to the end of the show, a couple miscellaneous things. MAGA's very upset about this clip of Trump being asked about H-1B visas. And Trump ends up saying, we don't have talented people here in America.
H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration, because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
We have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and you have to people.
Guys, I can explain more the nuances of what he might be thinking. and discussing the economic benefits for everyone, for certain lawful immigration, robust lawful immigration, skilled this, that, the other thing, innovation. And he's not speaking to us. He's speaking to his base. And his base does not like that argument. And it's also just politically terrible to be on the record going, no, we don't have talented people. Even if I understand the point you're trying to make, which is we can benefit from bringing in also more talented people, not more than us, but just additional also talented people. You understand? But he went, no, we don't. We're a bunch of bums. Have you seen Americans lately? I have a friend, big friend, real large. He's using the fat shot. It's not working, as Trump has said. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene responded by saying, I believe you're talented, American workers. Oh, no, Marjorie. She also, after Trump said that Marjorie lost her way since she's been criticizing him, said the only way is through Jesus. That's my way. I've definitely not lost it. Actually, I'm working hard to put my faith into action. My job title is representative. That's for Georgia's 14th district and the American people. No one else. America first. America only. Heart, American flag. Heart, American flag. Heart, American flag. So that's what she's up to. And then Trump has been saying, I don't want to hear about affordability. It's a Democratic con job. Let's see Scott Bessen's defense.
So, Mr. Secretary, it's not news anchors at NBC saying it. It's the voters a week ago saying life is too expensive in this country. So do you believe the idea that voters are saying affordability is a problem for me is a con job?
I believe even this morning you had two people come on and say, well, I look at the price at the pump and I know costs are up. Well, gasoline's down. So that is a con job. And I think
by a cent. A cent. And then energy's up, so.
I think that's what's frustrating.
So you don't believe that all the people who went to vote last Tuesday on the issue of affordability, my rent's too high, I can't afford to buy a house, groceries are too expensive, you think they're just misperceiving what's happening in their lives?
I think that that we inherited an affordability crisis. We have slowed the price increases down, and they are going to continue to slow down, and that real working class wages will go up, and that will address the affordability.
Okay, so, I mean, he's not doing any better than Trump at defending that position, and that's where we'll wrap it up.